Hello everyone, my name is Balu Case. In this video, we are going to learn about database languages. We are going to see definitions, list of database languages, and we are going to practically learn how they are going to work. What are database languages? Database languages are specialized programming languages used to interact with databases. That means to interact with databases, we need certain languages. Using these languages, we can manage, manipulate, retrieve the data stored in the database. So these are the database languages: DDL, DML, DQL, TCL, and DCL. We are going to practically see how these commands work. Let's start with DDLs. Whenever we are dealing with the structure of the table, data definition languages come into picture. Under them, we have create, alter, truncate, rename, and drop. These commands are auto commit. That means user need not to save manually once the command is executed. These commands will get saved automatically. Let's suppose I want to create a table called employee. How do I do that? What is the syntax for that? Create table name. Inside the bracket, we have to provide column names and their data types. What are data types? Data types define the kind of values that column contains. That means here in the employee ID, I'm storing the details of employee ID, right? So it can contain characters as well as the numbers. So the varchar is the data type I'm providing there. In the same way, in the employee name column, I'm providing varchar because I'm going to store strings, name of the employee. In employee salary, I'm going to store numbers. So the data type of this column, employee salary, is number. So if I execute this command, the table will get created. You can see the employee table has been created. If I want to get the details of the table, how do I get that? There is a command called describe table name. So if you execute this, describe, here the table name is employee, you will get the details of the table. You can see there are 3 columns and their respective data types. See, you can see there is a column called employee salary. Let's suppose I want to rename it to employee salary 1. How do I do that? What is the command? Alter table name, rename column, old column name to new column name. Before it was EMP salary. Now I want to change it to EMP salary 1. So the command is alter table, employee is the name of the table, rename column, employee salary, the old column name to new column name. If I execute this, the table has been altered. If I describe the table, you can see the column name has been changed to EMP salary 1. Let's suppose I want to add a new column called employee salary. I have a column called employee salary 1, EMP salary 1. If I want to add a column called EMP salary, how do I add that? Alter table name, add column name, and their data type. We have to provide inside the bracket. So if I execute this command, alter table employee, that is name of the table, add EMP salary and its data type. If I execute this, you can see employee table has been altered, and if I describe, the new column has been added. While creating this new column, I was supposed to give the data type as number, but by mistake I gave the data type as varchar2. How do I change the data type? What is the command for that? Alter table name, modify. Inside the bracket, we have to provide column name and the new data type. So if I execute this command, alter table, employee is the table name, modify, employee salary is the column name, and we have to provide the new data type. If I execute this, the table has been altered. If I describe, you can see the new data type. The employee salary data type is number. Let's suppose I want to delete this EMP salary 1 column. Okay, I don't want that column anymore. How do I delete that? Alter table name, drop column name. I'm going to drop the column. So command is alter table name here, employee, drop column, and which column I want to drop, that column name has to be provided. So if I execute that, that column will be dropped. You can see that employee salary one column is not present. So what is this truncate table? What does this truncate do? Truncate will delete all the records from the table. No matter how many records are there, if I execute truncate table name or truncate table employee, I'll show you after inserting as well. But it will, if I execute this truncate table name, it will delete all the records inside the table. If I want to rename the table to new name, how do I do that? Rename old table name to new table name. So rename employee. I am going to rename it to employee 1. So if I execute that command, so the table has been renamed to employee 1. If I describe this table, it shows the error. You know why? That EMP is not present at all. Object EMP does not exist. So if I give employee 1, can see the details of the table. Now I'm going to rename again. Rename employee 1 to employee. Now, if I don't want the table at all, I want to drop the table. What is the command for that? Drop table name. Drop table employee. If I drop it, the table has been dropped. I cannot see the table. So object employee does not exist. That is what we get, because we just drop the table. We are deleting deleting the table itself completely. This was about DDLs. Now we are going to see DMLs. Under them we have insert, select, update and delete. So these are user commit. That means user has to save or commit after executing the command. I'm going to insert the data and show you. Before that, I'll create the table. Since I have dropped the table does not exist in the database. So I'm going to create the table first. Table has been created. So there are many ways to insert the values. So this is the command: insert into table name. Inside the bracket we have to provide column names and values. Inside the bracket we have to provide the respective values. So one way is insert into employee. So I have provided these three column names and values. Inside the bracket I'm providing respective values: E001 Balu case and salary. If I execute this, one row will get inserted. And second way is we need not to provide the column names always if we are providing values for each and every column. Okay, I have inserted the value for the second employee as well. As I told you, if we are providing values for each and every column, then we need not to provide the column names. But if we are providing values only for these two columns, let's see what happens. I'm executing it. So it is giving the error, not enough values. So in this case, what we can do is either we can provide the column names for which we are giving the values. Here I'm giving the value for EMP ID and EMP name. So EMP ID is E003 and name is Rahul. So if I execute this, one row will get inserted. Otherwise, we can give the null value wherever we are not providing the value. So even this works. In both cases, null value will get inserted. So if I query this, that means select star from table name, select star from employee. So we call this as a retrieve or querying the data. If I execute this, select star from employee. So if in those two cases, you can see null values. If you can see, my salary is 50,000. Suppose I got a hike and it becomes 60,000. How do I update? What is the command for that? Update table name, set column name, and we have to provide is equal to what is the value we are going to update, and we have to give the where condition, otherwise it will get updated to all the rows. You can update as many columns as you want. Now I'm going to update in the table. Update employee, set employee salary is equal to 60,000, where employee ID is equal to E001. If we are not providing employee ID for all the employees, the 60,000 will get updated. If I execute this, one row is updated. If I select, before it was 50,000, now it is 60,000. Suppose I am leaving the company, they have to remove my details, right? How do they remove? If they truncate, all the records will go. How do they remove only my record? Delete from table name, and we have to provide the where condition as well. Otherwise, all the rows will get removed. Delete from employee, where employee ID is equal to E001. If I execute this, one row got deleted, and if I query the data, you can see only 3 rows are present. Employee 001 is not present. We learned about DMLs. Now we are going to see TCL, that is transaction control languages. Among them we have commit, rollback, and save point. When we execute DDLs, they get saved automatically. We cannot roll back to previous step. But when we do DMLs, we can roll back to previous step. Let's see what happens when we execute DDLs, what happens when we execute DMLs, how we can roll back, what are save point, what is commit, everything we'll see. I've queried the data in the table employee. There are 3 rows. If I truncate the table, all the data will get deleted. That means all the data will get truncated. Now, if I query the table, there are no data present. And if I execute rollback, I should, if it was DML, I should have got those 3 rows back. But since truncate is DDL, I cannot go back to the previous step. Now I'll show you the DML as well. I'll insert one record. You can see there is one record inside this table. Now if I roll back, it will go to the last commit point. Which was the last commit point? The truncate was the last commit point. Now I can see there are no records. Now I'll insert once again. I've inserted one record, that is salary will be 50,000. Now what I'll do, I'll update that salary to 60,000. I will keep this as save point A. Save point A. If I commit, that save point will go. I'll keep it as save point A only. Now salary will be 60,000. What I do, I will delete from the employee. I'll delete this record from this table. Delete from employee, where employee ID is equal to E001. Now I'll save that as second point. You can give your respective name according to the situation, what action you are making. So according to that you can give. Now I'll fetch the data, select star from employee. I'll try to roll back to save point A, roll back to A. What happens? Rollback complete. Now if I fetch, I can see the data again. But can I go back to deleted E001? Can I roll back to that point? Let's see. No, we cannot, because we have already rolled back to save point A. I have the data. I have the data inside the table. I'll delete this once again and I'll commit. Commit completed. Now, if I try to go back to save point A, I cannot because that save point has been removed because we have committed. If we have to talk about DCL, that is data control languages, grant and revoke come under them. Mainly admin team will be using these commands. Why? Because in real-time projects, we'll be having different kinds of environments. Dev, set, UAT, prod. We will be having access to most of the tables in dev, but that access will be controlled as we proceed to higher environment. We will be having access to only specific tables in higher environment based on our projects. So for those purposes, these two commands will be used.